We're doing our we're kind of them. We're good today. Hadn't done today. We get it before. So your support that's from the plant. Yeah. So now we're gonna get. Yep. So what's you're following me around. There's three those relationships. My mom would too, for sure. One thing. So five, which should be my just like yeah. Oh my God. Well, until it turns. I was even and I was like, well, that's still on you. It is. And yeah, well, we don't like going to Bill and company so I wanted to get it. So that's yeah. Now I realize how. Yeah.
All right, call to order the August 27th, 2026 Town Snarble Design Review Board meeting. First order of business is approval of the July minutes. Is there a motion for approval?
Motion for approval.
Or second?
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Under Becca, do you have anything?
No, we can go ahead and get started.
First item under old business is Legacy School. If y'all would just come on up and make sure you sign in.
All right, y'all last saw this. It's been a little bit, but I believe the last time they were before y'all was September of this past year. They are requesting preliminary approval. At our last meeting, they had just gone to TRC and not received the TRC comments yet. So I did include them there, and I know they have some responses and updates on those for y'all. But just to go over the rest of the staff report, at the conceptual DRB meeting, the board noted that the proposed design seemed imposing, more like a bank than a school. Ms. Golden suggested softening the architecture. The board encouraged the applicant to look at Somerville vernacular, the use of low country details, study the use of projecting elements, and brick. The board discussed the layout of the traffic flow within the site and noted that a robust landscaping plan would need to be provided. No vote was taken as that was conceptual. So right now, the developer and our town arborist have been working very closely. This is a large, almost a clear cut of the property, but there aren't a lot of healthy trees, stands of trees that appear to be worth saving, and they do have a pretty robust stacking requirement. So that's what we've been discussing with the applicant. And so after talking to the arborist yesterday, he feels comfortable with reviewing it, the developer at a staff level rather than going before the tree protection board. But that is all I have. So I will hand it over to the applicant.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. I forgot to sign it. I'll sign it before I walk out tonight. My name is Jason Oppman. I'm a vice president of real estate development working on behalf of Legacy Traditional School, South Carolina. We're thrilled to be back with you. This is our second meeting. We had a conceptual DRB review. We received some very valuable comments. That was nearly a year ago, and we've worked to incorporate those comments into our design, and hopefully you'll see that effort tonight. I would like to start by saying that we are actually going to request a final approval tonight, hopefully a vote on from the board that would allow us to move forward. I don't need to tell you that the first day of school doesn't change. first day of school in 2027 is coming, and we're anxious to get started. So hopefully we've addressed all those comments satisfactorily, and the board can look at what we submitted and have a vote on it. I'm going to just back up for 1 second to some of the comments I made last year. Legacy Traditional Schools is likely very new to each of you. We don't have a campus in Charleston today. I came from our first Palmetto State campus just a few hours ago. We opened a Columbia campus on August 4th. And so we're hoping to bring our second campus here to the town of Somerville, and we're thrilled to be here. We are new to South Carolina, but we're not new. We've been educating students in a charter school format since 2007. Our focus is on K-8, and as of the fall and the start of classes that have recently been occurring, we have approximately 28,000 students in our network. So we're thrilled to bring school choice to the town of Somerville and the areas around it, and very grateful for your time this evening. So I'll be followed by Preston Busby with Seaman Whiteside. We'll be happy to go into some more detail about the site and some of the features that are there. So, thank you.
As you'll see on the site plan is a very, I would say, unique site plan. If you have worked on any schools in Somerville or just schools in general, stacking is a major issue. SEDOT is making a very large push to get stacking off public roads. On the way here, passing an elementary school, they had an entire lane on a 4-lane highway shut down just so that cars could stack on the highway to get to the school. That's what we're trying to avoid, or that's what DOT is trying to avoid. Because of the charter school, they do not have buses, which then increases the amount of stacking that we have to have. We actually are required per DOT for this particular school, 10,000 linear feet of stacking to get all the cars off of the public road. What we've done is we've created a loop around the perimeter of the site. And it actually transitions from 2 and 3 lanes of stacking, and then narrows back down to 2 and then 1 lane of stacking in front of the school for safe pickup and drop off. The 2 entry points that are shown on the plan, they're actually, and it's not quite clear on this, but those are lined up where future roads will be based on the Sheep Island master development. Where our main entrance road, that's going to be a main access road to a future neighborhood. And those trees that are off of our site, there's also going to be some single family developments there that our road lines up with. So those were placed there very strategically. What we've done is oriented the building so it's lines up square with the road as much as possible. The existing road has a little skew in it, but really want to showcase the great architecture that you'll see in a little bit. With that being said, if y'all have questions for me, we can talk about site, but I will turn it over to the architects to go through theirs, and then maybe we can circle around with site comments later, whichever y'all prefer. Hey, Brett.
Hey, everybody. Thank you for your time tonight. My name is Brett Anderson. I'm with NIT. We're the architect for this project. I'm going to start just by kind of summarizing what we heard at the last meeting. So I think it was mentioned early on, but seemed like it was imposing like a bank. You were coming up to a big bank, didn't pull enough from the local vernacular. You guys encouraged more brick. So literally right after this meeting, we walked outside and we started documenting some of the buildings around town, some of the local vernacular. So I'm gonna just kind of go through some of the changes. We went back and we made 2 Legacy's typical prototype design. So the biggest change is, I'm sorry, if you can go to the rendering, probably better. Well, actually, that's a good place to start because that's what we presented to you guys previously. That's perfect. Yeah, so the biggest change we made was just modifying that entry, bringing it down to a human scale, kind of pulling from some of the local vernacular, having that kind of patio feel to it. We also removed all of the stucco from the building, all of the ephes. So we completely changed the typical materials that we use. We introduced a lot more brick to the exterior of the building. Changed the color palette. Legacy's typical color palette's a lot more cold, I guess. We wanted to kind of warm up the color palette again, kind of pulling from some of the local vernacular. We even have some haint blue on the underside of the balcony there that we're trying to incorporate. So that, I mean, you can see from this view, the main entry, if you go back one slide, kind of pulls out a little bit. You can see a secondary entry over to the right there for the preschool program. We kept Legacy's standard copper standing seam metal roof at the entry. Felt like that element still tied into everything. We do have a floor plan I can go through with you guys if you're interested in looking at the floor plan. Also have a material board if you want some additional info on the materials. We also brought some physical samples today in case you guys wanted to see any of that, but that kind of summarizes all of the changes that we made to the design of the exterior of the building based on your guys' feedback. So the hope is that with the package we've submitted, I think we have all of the required documentation. So as Jason alluded to at the beginning of this, we're hoping that we can get a vote of approval from you guys today.
Can you walk through what the materials are?
Yeah. So it's primarily fiber cement cladding, hardy board. There's going to be a couple different styles there, the ship latting and the board and batten. You can see the colors 4, 5, 6 beneath that, just painted. Number 9, you can see the copper standing seam metal roof. Number 10 is a brick veneer. And then 7 and 8 down in the bottom left-hand corner are just some accent colors that we use occasionally for some trim elements on the exterior of the building. And then that lighter blue is the blue that I alluded to, the haint blue at the porch. The rest of the materials shown here are interior materials.
All right, let's see all sides of the building.
We have elevations, yeah.
Yeah, let's walk through those.
Sure.
Do you
They're
have
at the
any-
beginning of the presentation.
Do you have any
Yeah.
canopies going out to like over the waves?
We're gonna have I think it's shown on sorry to make you jump back again to the rendering. We have some covered areas at the pickup drop-off line. But the entry element that you see there doesn't really project much farther than those 2 large kind of brick elements on the side. So if you, again, sorry, go back now. The exterior elevations here. There, thank you.
I have a weird question, but
Yeah.
those covering, is that where the children will wait?
And teachers, yeah, and
Yeah.
the staff that are assigned to wait with them, but yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
those 2 on each side, yeah.
Yeah, the way it works, their driveline software is the children usually wait inside the classroom and then they get like a notification on
Yeah,
the
you
screen
get
in there.
called and then
Yeah.
they do it.
So then they'll go out and stand under one of
But
those
you have to
covered.
wait Not to get wet.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you have details of those canopies? That's just that rendering.
Not in this presentation, no. I mean, it's just like a metal shade canopy. We'll use some of the paint colors to like match the accent colors here, probably the darker off-white here, the beige color.
Can we look at it again in the that rendering?
Yeah.
Is that what they look like?
Yeah.
But you didn't bring a detail of it.
I don't have, yeah, it's just it's a metal canopy. Yeah.
Okay.
Unfortunately, it's pretty typical. School.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, we removed it from the previous, the rendering you were just on, just so you could see the details of the building in that rendering.
Is this landscape plan accurate? Is the rendering accurate to the plans?
There were only a couple trees that we took off because they were like from this aerial view blocking the front of the school. But other than that, yes, we did our best to make it match the landscape plan we have from our landscape architect.
Can we flip through the? Yeah, what's the back of the building look like?
That's the west elevation it showed. Right there. No, it's the west elevation. These are the end walls.
I'm sorry,
We're looking at the end walls right now.
So what's the?
yeah, the south elevation is the shorter L side there. The east elevation is the front, and then the west and the north are the back side of it. Yeah, yeah. We just continue the same materials along the backside. The only different material is the gym cafeteria is just a block, painted block on the backside.
Is there a generator?
No,
Exterior generator or equipment?
no,
Where are the HVAC units?
on the roof. And we take care to look at the height of the HVAC units with curbs versus the roof height and the parapet height to make sure that we don't have any site issues. Any visible units. Yeah. We usually try and locate them behind the higher parapets too, where we can.
So you won't see them from public right away.
Right,
Okay.
correct, yeah.
Don't you need some means of egress on the backside and that long wall with no doors?
We have all of the code required egress. If you go to the floor plan, you can see kind of where, like how those spaces are located. I mean, it's a, yeah, oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Numbers, sheet 17, there's the floor plan. So, you know, it's a double loaded classroom corridor. So you have exits at the end of those corridors. And then the gym cafeteria there, we have all the required exits off the backside of that.
You have a dumpster enclosure.
Yeah, you can see that on the aerial rendering.
Did you provide a detail for that?
Can you flip through and see if we have an elevation of the trash enclosure there? I don't think we have. I mean, that's just it's a painted block wall. If there's other standards for the trash enclosure you guys would like to see, I mean, that's an easy element. We can definitely modify.
Typically that would match the building.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Becca's pulling it up. It is tucked pretty far back in the back. And we have it placed. They'll use the drop off circulation to access it. And then it's placed one close to the cafeteria, but also in a location that it doesn't take away from a majority of the play area that's going to be in the back of the school.
Yeah, I think the only time you'll see that thing is if you're trying to see it or if you're waiting in line to pick up your kiddo.
And you'll have a sidewalk coming from those double doors.
To the trash enclosure? Yeah.
Or is that all concrete?
Right outside the building is concrete, and then you'll cross, and then there'll be some concrete outside the trash enclosure.
Where the hand is right now is the required fire apparatus access for the fire trucks. And so that is going to be a paved surface. And then you can see just to the north of the dumpster enclosure, a concrete path to access dumpsters.
Do you have any shade in the playground? You have a
Yeah.
shade structure?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the playground area has a shade structure, and then we also typically include one over like a outdoor turf area. It's a fabric shade structure, metal posts, steel posts.
All right, can we? The landscape sheets, particularly the front of the building? And then go to, it's like, if you look at, can you go to 305? have you considered a buffer along between the street and the development?
Do we have a landscape?
Hi, Deandra Sunner, Stephen Whiteside. Yes, we can look into that if, as far as utilities aren't in the way.
All right, yeah, we're just looking to screen, say if you can see on the lower left of the sheet, this expansive parking. Right now, it just looks like there's some canopy trees in there. We'd like to screen that a little bit more so you don't see an expansive asphalt from the public road.
Mhm.
And what is the fence type? Vinyl coated chain link,
Yeah, it's chain link, vinyl,
black,
yeah.
okay. 4 to 6 feet high, something like that. Okay. Is the backflow preventer screened?
We can.
I'm asking a lot of questions because you're going from trying to go from
Yeah.
preliminary to final,
Mhm.
so we've got to just be pretty meticulous.
Yeah,
Located.
the backflow preventers tucked back. It's not on the sheet. Maybe go to. If you're looking at this plan, it's gonna be just the one to the left. So what does it say? It's right there. There's the backflow, all the water.
Okay,
So it's tucked back.
Pretty well screened.
yeah.
Above ground, right?
And the utility bank on the building, like electrical meters is
No, it's
just,
all on enclosed in an electrical room.
okay.
How about parking lot lighting?
There will be parking lot lighting, yeah.
You got a photometric plan or?
Yeah, it's in this package. It's one of the first sheets.
There you go.
Yeah, just to clarify, I reviewed this as preliminary as well, and typically, our arborist would, for final, our arborist would look at the specifics of the landscaping plan with me, and I haven't had a chance to do that with him. Which it's not a huge issue. I mean, Justin and I can handle that at a staff level, through site permitting, because they still have to go through that. So even if they're not meeting the full, requirement at this point, we can work through that with y'all, through the site disturbance permit.
Yeah, we did have a meeting with him yesterday.
Yeah, I was there. Yeah.
So do you have what the light fixtures look like?
Not sure if that's in this package.
I don't think there's a.
I think they're like 25-foot poles, pretty typical fixture. I don't think we have any sort of specialty fixture proposed or anything.
Okay. And then Becca, seems just from recollection on the staff comments, is you had some comments on the sign, I think?
Yes, so digital change copy and, and these, manual change copy signs are permitted by right for schools. They do have to meet the conditions of the only, one color expressed. And I know that sounds a little confusing, but that could be blue and white, or it could be black and white. But just no, multicolor, and then the display, so it's not flashing, has to be a minimum of 8 seconds. And I think those are, and the base has to be a similar material to the building, so that would be a condition of your sign approval. It's just the DRB, has to verify that you're meeting those.
Yeah, we were aware of those conditions, and we modified the sign from the last presentation to just match the brick veneer on the building.
Any other comments or questions?
I've got a couple site comments real quick.
Want me to pull up the landscape plan or what?
Yeah, that's fine. Um,
No, actually, this works. You can just leave this. So I guess I'll just start off by saying these are advisory, but plantings like within the embankments of the BMPs, maybe just shift those out a little bit. So they're not kind of on that 3-to-1 slope. And then I think it was mentioned that these roads are going to be across from new intersections, like new entrances, future entrances.
Yes, future intersections, where the main, I'm gonna call it the main entrance, but the one furthest south on the plan.
Sure.
That road already has construction documents that are designed.
Okay.
For a future neighborhood, and Seymour Whiteside did not do those, but it's my understanding they're permitted. There's also, the road to the north also has, construction documents for another, single family development. That road, that future road will cut through, and connect to the other road.
Okay.
That white space, so you can actually see, you can see some of the curb cuts on this plan.
Sure. Do you know?
Those will be modified to meet the new road section though.
Gotcha. What is the posted speed on this road? Do you know off the top of your head?
I don't, it would be less than 35 or less. It might be 25 actually.
Okay. It's 25? Okay. Yeah, because I'm just looking at that, like that arc right next to the secondary entrance. And I think if you're traveling, I guess, plan east, kind of like north, coming up around that arc, the sight distance from that egress at that intersection is going to be pretty rough. But I think if nobody's brought it up and the posted speed is 25, should give people enough time to react.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, the 25 helps, and I hate, this is a bad comment, but we're kind of stuck because we have to align it with that
Right.
road. It's a town road, but DOT actually reviews that. DOT has a school official that reviews all school projects, and so that is going to be required. I do understand your concern.
The reason why I'm asking is because I'm wondering if it sounds like it got missed on, I guess I don't see a sight distance line, so it could be fine, but it maybe was DOT's ability to either force y'all or the adjacent development to try to soften that curve a little bit just for the sight distance. But again, like 25 miles per hour should work. I mean, they're going to be mowing down that site. So if there's like any trees, in the inside of that arc, they're probably going to be gone.
Yeah, and I
thinking
haven't
off the top of my head.
studied the adjacent development hard enough to analyze that.
The good thing is it's your secondary entrance. So it seems like only folks who are in that 90-degree parking are really going to be using it. Staff, maybe.
Yeah, correct. It would be just for the parking lot. That would be the only folks that could leave out of that development. Or this site.
I think it's worth adding that the town of Somerville commissioned a complete TIA. That was conducted last year, and all of those intersections were studied very carefully. The provider was selected by Somerville, I think it was Stantec. And so if you'd like to see it, we could get you a copy of that report where it talks about the alignment of those driveways and provides more information about site visibility and some of those issues. But that was pretty thoroughly vetted initially by the engineers at Stantec, but then reviewed by the town and also heavily reviewed by the South Carolina Department of Transportation.
Yeah, we don't actually, I mean, I don't have the purview to enforce anything in that regard. I'm just kind of pointing it out as a,
No, those are great
When
questions.
you-
We
when
can
you-
give you more information. We've got a
Yeah.
traffic report that'll put you to sleep tonight real fast.
I don't need to read the report, but I think seeing a sight distance exhibit would maybe help a little bit if that information is handy. Again, I can't enforce.
For that needs to be deferred to staff.
Right. Yeah. Like I can't.
And the staff has reviewed and approved that. TIA some time ago. So I don't remember who signed it, but we can find that information.
When it goes through the site disturbance process, it goes through another review by the engineering department. So even if there are concerns about that, I mean, that will get another review before they're able to do the site.
Got it. All right, and then can you go to L 3.01? Just another advisory one on the dumpster. I guess have you guys ran any like turning movements on the truck that's gonna be picking up at that dumpster?
It's hard to see in this photo, but those are actually smaller containers that get pulled out.
Okay, so they're not gonna be front load.
There's no front load approach to those.
Okay, great. Great. So it's like super cans that just get,
I can't, they're like 3 or 4 yards on wheels, 4 wheels. It's a standard design we've used at our other campuses.
okay.
And each one of those lanes is a standard, standard lane size, so there's room to navigate. They obviously wouldn't be showing up during pickup and drop off.
Right, right.
You have a detail of what those gates look like?
We can certainly provide that to you. Yeah, I mean, it's not in this package, but we have.
All right, make sure staff sees those because we don't want to. Sure, we've all seen dumpster enclosures that the gates just fly open or they fall off or whatever. So we want to make sure that doesn't happen here.
They're pretty hefty steel gates, down rods.
Okay.
Our building department, though, they won't be reviewing this, but generally they require a separate permit for each structure on site. But through with schools, because they're not, are y'all subject to the state or the buildings?
Well, the Office of School Facilities, the Department of Education will issue our.
But because we don't issue the building permit, I review those for schools, I review those separate structures through the site permitting, so they will have to provide that detail.
All right, biggest thing that's been kind of bugging me about the whole project is the lack of shade in the playground. I know there's a shade cloth, and Tammy, I'd love to hear your opinion on it, but you know, I've took them out, all my kids to Dorchester County schools or located schools, and the playgrounds are kind of, I don't know, hurt anybody's feelings, but they seem to be an afterthought. And there's no shade and the kids are just miserable. And I mean, I don't know if y'all were here this summer, but the kids weren't in school in the summer, but it's hot. And I think more shade needs to be provided, breaking up. You don't need all the concrete in the playground. Take some of the concrete out and have planters or something, or more shade, maybe canopy trees. I know you have to protect it so the kids don't compress the soils or whatever. I would encourage you to do that. And then along that diagonal length of the building that you kind of see from the soccer fields, seems like that's excess concrete. You'd have to study that, but it seems like street trees could be run through that. Between the soccer field and the building.
Oh, that's the fire. Oh, okay, you're talking just left of or just south of the building there?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's the fire access lane going around it, then we do have a little expanse of concrete there.
Yeah.
Alright.
And then where the label 301 is, it looks like it's just a big grassed area. If that's going to be used, you know, for the kids to play in that's one thing. But if it's just kind of overflow grassed area that's never used, I would encourage you to plant longleaf pine through there, just to provide some shade. That and pines are kind of a Somerville thing. And you know, all the pines are being removed. That might be a good area to have longleaf pine. Maybe there's some in specific areas of the soccer field area, obviously not the soccer field, but in those little wedges that are not going to be used. But just my big emphasis would be there's to be a lot more shade.
And I do want to point out, this is a good drawing to see it on, but we do have, I think, 4 shade structures in the back there.
Yeah.
One over each playground. And then you can see like just northeast of the basketball court there's 2 shade structures over like a little.
That was the blue canopies in the rendering.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna ask about that.
Those are good, but I don't think it's enough. But Tammy, you have any thoughts on?
Remind me again of the age kids that will be occupying?
K through 8,
K
so
through 8.
approximately 5 to 12.
Yeah, yeah.
But
Okay, so,
And the space that the chairman was referring to in the back, we actually wanted a grass area for the kids to play on, because when they have a supervised recess or before and after school, they're not out on that soccer field side of the campus. We needed to have something active in the back, so the teachers could supervise and get kids in and out promptly for recess and
Okay.
after lunch.
just balance the comment with whatever the needs are.
yeah, correct, because yeah. And you're correct. It's always an afterthought. To be honest, this is probably more than what some people provide.
Yeah.
What I've seen provided in other places, but, yeah, the little ones really need it. So if you got that space, and again, I won't get into the weeds of how you're gonna divvy that up and have who out there at what time. That's not my business, but, it makes a huge difference, especially if you're doing K-8, because 8th graders aren't doing the same thing that 5-year-olds are.
I just really think through that space instead of just
Agreed.
plopping down equipment or whatever. Think of the finishes and shade and circulation, and maybe the paving pattern changes, maybe it's tabby in areas. But I think you need more attention to detail, where you're gonna have lots of people walking. All right, any other comments? Any-
Agree, it needs more shade. It's gonna be hot there.
Anything else you all need to talk about or discuss?
No, sir, thank you for your time and your consideration. We really appreciate it. We look forward to being the best neighbor we can.
Becca, did you have any staff comments that weren't addressed or you feel need to be brought up?
Y'all have the same concerns that Justin and I had, but we're comfortable with working through that with y'all. Your side comment.
It seems to me
Chris, let me add
Yeah.
something.
mhm.
All right, I don't think I heard them the first time. They've already brought the materials so we could see them in person.
They have them,
They have,
but they have them on the board.
okay.
And then they also brought them if you want to see them.
I mean, I don't see any objection to it. I just wondered, have we seen them?
Well, let's
But
look
for
at
final approval, we'll need to see them.
That's what they're asking.
I know, but we need to see them.
Well, you bring them up.
Okay.
They're pretty minimal. We can grab them real quick.
Sure.
Okay. We need to see,
Yeah, exactly.
Break out the material.
because I don't have a real good feeling of where those colors are.
Sure. Okay, can you go to elevation or rendering?
Rendering. Yeah, rendering.
So is this a thin brick and not a real brick?
Are you gonna have real brick?
It's thin brick, thin brick.
Where's the thin brick?
On each side of the entry there.
That's not
Okay.
brick,
And it's white?
that's a top.
It's called thin brick.
Yeah, that's an ugly brick.
Looks better in the
You got-
picture.
Got a
It's a
red brick?
brick over here. It's detailed out. It looks identical to dimensional.
No, I know if you plain a thin brick, problem is the cost.
There's a little bit more, like you can see in the rendering,
This
there's a little
looks
bit more
tan,
color
that was white.
variation.
Yeah, but this is the sample material, the render's not.
I think that's just one,
It's brought one- we
multiple
brought one.
shades.
Like there's some color variation.
It's not gonna be the.
I got you,
Yes.
I got you.
I know if Peter were here, he would object to it being a thin brick and not a true brick because the corners don't look right.
They provide special trim pieces to deal with the corners. You will stand in front of that and not be able to tell that it's thin brick versus brick.
And I can assure you, because it's a.
So Chris,
Yeah.
is that thin brick this?
Mhm.
Yeah,
Well, that's not this color at all.
that's just a variation.
It's just very.
They're different ones. Yeah.
You can see right there.
Yeah, well,
This
I
one's-
barely like the color you got on the sample board. The color chart, cause I like red brick.
Yeah, that's not a summer.
We had in the previous building, we actually had a different color and we went back and changed it to kind of, I think, tie into more what we're seeing around here.
Yeah, but that's not a summer.
It's not,
That's
that's not.
white.
com-
I would suggest if you guys are okay with the massing and things we talked about and working some stuff out with staff, one of the conditions is they have to come back, say different brick to staff and we go look at it.
That's fine.
And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work.
I'd like to see mine.
Or you can provide that cheaper, if that's not suitable, we'll find an alternative. In fact, you can see it in the old elevation, it's gonna be very hard to perceive, but that,
We
as Brett
can't-
mentioned, we deviated from that standard.
Yeah, we just can't go by the renderings because, I mean, clearly that doesn't look like this.
That's totally different, yeah.
No, we'll bring it back.
And just for the record, go over what else you have
Yeah.
here. Please.
Person of that, unfortunately, the sample up today, that's, and it's faux wood grain in it, what we're proposing is going to be smoother, but this gives you an idea of the materials. These are our cake colors. So these are the main colors that you'll see on the building. This is our kind of shutter colors that will be at the
All
end.
good.
I actually like that.
Where are the shutters? I don't see them.
They're
Under the fringe, right here.
Just limited to that area.
Oh, yeah, I see. Okay.
Then,
Ooh,
as Brett
yeah.
mentioned, this is on the underside. So the colors together.
Yeah.
The support roof ceiling.
Yeah.
And then that is our copper.
Metal's nice, very nice. I think the brick is the biggest issue.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the rest.
I thought I saw in the civil details, the signs were gonna be round or square black. So I believe I read. Signposts. Yeah.
Okay.
Metal, round or square, and flat.
The back of the signs painted black. Okay. So I think the big takeaway is that's not approvable, a brick, but it needs to look what we consider more Somerville, which is this building or building to see right on the square here.
And if you're gonna say there's a variation of different colors, bring what that's gonna be, not just one.
Yeah, bring a whole,
Yeah,
Show us
so that we
whole,
can,
a whole board.
because that could make a difference as we shoot one down, not knowing the
Yeah.
whole pattern.
Okay.
All right, for someone, I think it's whatever the motion is, I think it's conditional.
With condition.
It sounds like.
What are they?
Yeah, whatever.
Well, do you want to make a motion first and then Becca will help with the conditions?
I make a motion for final approval with conditions noted. And particularly the return of the brick sample.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Yeah, and now,
We need to note the other conditions.
yeah. Becca, can you help us?
How that applies to the site, as well as all of our, accessory structures, whatever those may be, and details on fencing, those in the enclosures, shade sails, the shade structures out front. And then the brick will be something that, and that can be, y'all are comfortable with that being handled through site turn, yes. As well as the landscaping.
But we need to see the brick,
But the
We need to see the
is
brick.
What's going to be, so,
correct,
so they don't have to come back to the actual meeting. They can
Correct.
provide that to them.
correct, yeah. Then consider the landscape changes we talked about. Yeah, shade everywhere. Buffer. Lighting style is gonna be, come to committee.
Let's see the fixtures.
They show a whole heads
That's interesting.
right there.
Is the rendering correct?
For the light.
Yeah.
Sure, yeah, the site, site.
They'd
lighting.
they'd be
That's-
okay with me.
Looks like a helicopter
Which all.
about to take off.
And they disappear.
I think it's a standard fixture that Berkeley Electrical Farm uses. You likely see it in a lot of locations out here.
Gotcha.
You know, the conditions that were discussed. All right. So there was a,
Got shade in the footprints?
Yep.
Okay, good.
okay, so Paul, any other further discussion? Tammy, second. All right, final approval with conditions, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, thank you very much.
Your time, we appreciate it.
All right, next is the Meadows revised townhome design.
All right. So I was not at the July meeting, but Jesse takes very good notes. And I missed it. I was on vacation. So at the July DRB meeting, the board requested that the applicant study the character and detailing of the proposed architecture, as some of the areas were lacking. Other requests included restudying roof lines, front door, entryways, articulation of side elevations, depth of porches and stoops, and consider changes to the color palette. And I will hand it over to Aaron.
Thank you, Becca.
Is there somewhere you want me to jump first?
Let's just start on the site plan. I'm just going to open it up real quick and give you guys the 2-minute backstory on it. And then we're just going to dive right into the architecture, since that's really the point of why we're here tonight. First off, thank you guys for your time. Really appreciate the time that you guys set aside in order to make this place a better place. What we have for you today, so what you see in front of you is the phase 1 of the Meadows development, formerly known as Salisbury, formerly known as AMH phase 1A. It's got all kinds of different names to it. But the development itself is called the Meadows. And really where we are right now currently is the development horizontally has been already developed. Lots are established. All your services, everything, roads, everything is in the ground and stabilized. Now it's just a matter of going vertical. And so these lots that you see in front of you today were permitted, constructed via AMH. They are now being sold off to Pulte, and they have a slightly different change as it relates to the architecture of their townhome versus what AMH originally planned. They are only buying 86 of the townhomes. So there is an addition of the 124, 86 of them will be Pulte. The rest of them are still being built by AMH. And so that's why you can see the townhome lots that are off to the planned west side that are not highlighted in red. That's because those are still, in fact, some of them are actually already built, but being built by AMH. So that is the backstory. As far as the site goes, everything has already been set. So really it's just a matter of going vertical. And AMH or Pulte plans to play within the exact same sandbox as the lots that you see ahead of you. They don't plan to change any of the lot sizing to make them bigger, wider, whatever it may be. So, but with that, I'm gonna go ahead and introduce Adam, and he can walk you through more of the architecture side of things.
Great. Thank you, Aaron. Adam Tennant with Pulte. First of all, I just want to thank you. You all gave us some great feedback at our last meeting. So we turned around and hopefully responded accordingly. And I would agree that, yes, Jesse gave great notes because it read like a table of contents for our response. So the one thing I do want to, I just want to pass out, you have our colored front elevation rendering. And I just want to, I've got that as a top sheet, but I also, what's not in the packet is the side and the rear. So those are colored as well. So I want to give those in front of you right now. And I'll use that as kind of a talking point as I go through the response. And then the other slides that are in your packet, obviously staff can bring up as needed. Okay, thanks, Aaron. So, as staff mentioned, some of the comments that came up from the last time, I'm going to kind of walk through that a little bit. Starting with that front elevation, there was the comment of the elevations lacked character, kind of a quaintness was needed, and I think we accomplished that in a couple of ways, both colors, materials, and some individual articulation and some elements that we have. So I'll go through those as they come up. But I think overall, that flatness that we kind of talked about at the last meeting, we really worked hard to address that. So hopefully that came through. So as far as the tangible items that Becca brought up, as far as the roof lines are concerned, if you look at the colored elevation, and actually that should be, we'll see if on the screen as well. Great. Thank you very much. The main things we did right there is we staggered those front elevations by about 2 feet. So you really have that up and down articulation. And then I think the other thing that really becomes obvious here, we took care of kind of that plain roof line that was in the middle. We added dormers. So if you see those dormers right in the middle of the building, I think that's added a lot more than where we were before. And once again, we're drawing that line of our own product, but also wanting to be consistent with what you all saw with AMH that came through. So those dormers are a consistent massing that they had used as well. The front door entryways were discussed as being plain. I think we've really elevated that, no pun intended. AMH came in with, they had like a transom window above their doors. I think we've come in a little more, even a little more aggressive with a more prominent glass door that shows in those elevations. So I think we've been able to do that. If you go to the third sheet, which is the side elevation, and unfortunately, I do not, there's the black and white. In front of you all, you have the colored elevation. So we've gone ahead and amongst other things, we added some windows both at the first and the second story. And then the other thing is we broke up the massing of materials. We had that horizontal siding climbing pretty much all the way up to the eave. And now you can see we have a board and batten detail that comes in and meets the headers of those second story windows. So we've upgraded our materials, given a little more variety, also added those windows. Back to, well, you can actually see it right here on this. If you stay on that side elevation, you can see how much we've ramped up our porch elements. Yeah, thank you. We had some overhangs, but the width and the depth has changed. We were at I think a 4.5-foot depth porch before. We're now at a clear 8-foot dimension. So that has changed considerably from our last time. I would say on the front elevations, I alluded to this before, but there was a comment on the colors, and it wasn't as much, I don't think, the colors themselves, as much as we had kind of a mix of colors within the buildings. So we had blues and browns, different shades on the same building. And this is a little more traditional row home. And I think a little more similar than what you all had seen at AMH. So you see consistent coloring in each of the 6 units in that building, which is, so we just took a completely different attack on how we wanted to render up the buildings. And then I would just say, relative to even some comments that weren't made, I talked about the staggered units, but also we added window mullions, all sides, rears, sides, fronts. We didn't have those called out before. And then lastly, I would say, if you can look on your sheet of the rear elevations, I think we've got a pretty strong program there. We've got coach lights at the bottom. We've got the balconies in the second story. And then also those roof breaks show up again on the rear elevation. So you've got that staggered element at the rear, not just on the front of the buildings. So I think those match up with what staff had called out in their staff report. And thanks again. That became an easy table of comments for me to follow. But obviously here to answer any more questions or comments that you all have. Oh, great. Thank you.
Good.
Horseshoes are great, cars are great.
I think it looks great. Admittedly, not an architect. It's not my expertise. But I'm just curious about the board's opinion of these like closed shutter windows.
I like it.
You like it?
I think it's
I
interesting.
do that. I did that in my garage.
Yeah.
They do reflect, also what was done by the AMH elevation. There's a couple of those incorporated on their elevations.
Oh, really?
Yes, sir.
Gotcha.
on the rear of the building where you have the balconies, can you put a shed roof over those balconies?
I can look into that. Yeah, we get into a little bit of a cost structure. I know that's not the biggest concern of you all, but the balconies are a pretty strong element. We can look into that.
I'd make a boat, or if you can't do that, put windows over in the garage doors,
Yeah.
flashlights in the garage doors.
Did you say the porch, like the cantilever porch was extended to 8 feet?
That's the front.
The front.
This front, these are 4 feet.
Okay, so those are still 4 feet. Okay.
Any other comments?
No more.
Omos. Did you have actual sample panels, colors?
I do not.
In this case, I would think that can be submitted to staff.
Yeah, I think
Because
so.
I mean, you're generally in agreement with it.
Chris, I would like to hear your thoughts just due to what we've discussed tonight. Is there a possible to move for a final approval as well, or what's the board's feeling with that?
We can.
I think final approval is within reach. Only one thing I want to point out, which looks a little goofy to me, but it's not a line in the sand, is the middle building that's kind of brown.
Yes,
Has a gable, I guess that's a gable over the front door
correct.
and that space, but that looks a little weird.
I like it.
I like it.
Seems like it ought to be in the center, but
It's like boring.
It's over the-
It's not boring.
It's over the.
that's it.
It's over
Get out
the-
of here. No, I would just, that's just a suggestion. It looks a little weird to me, but
It's over the
I
door,
was
the
overruled.
entrance door.
Yeah, if you slide that,
It's functional. So
yeah, if you slide it to the middle, it might
it
not,
just kind of,
not
why is it
line up.
not over the door? But yeah, I get it. But just comment, okay?
I get you.
All right, any other comments? They're asking for final approval. I'll make a motion for final approval with the condition that the colors are submitted to staff, that we're in agreement.
Close to what we're looking at.
They're close to what we're looking at. And consider Bill's comments about stage structure over the,
Yeah.
like the rear.
Balcony.
Stage structure
Or glass lighting
Or-
over the doors.
over.
In the garage door itself.
Yeah. Yeah.
Those-
Or maybe one has a shade structure, the other one has windows. and
Sure.
Doors.
Okay. But we can break that up. Yep.
All right, is there a second?
I'll take it.
Can I?
Any further discussion?
Yeah, can I just say one last thing. So the colors seems like they're gonna be one, like each unit is gonna have its own color front and back, right? Same color.
Correct.
Okay.
Now,
Yeah.
the rendering is not.
I saw that. And then the best part though, when I looked at AMH's, they did the same thing. So I wasn't the only one who messed up. No, all seriousness, I caught that and
The front's gonna be on. the
I'm,
back.
yes,
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yes.
Going, how are these people gonna even know it's their house?
This kid's got a sharp eye.
I know. I didn't pick that up until honestly yesterday and I was like, oh God, come on. It's not that hard.
I think
So, yeah, good catch.
Alternate buildings with the color pigment.
That's a condition.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
What you got on the back, you could put on the whole building. For, a string of buildings. Those colors combination are acceptable. Just as long as front and back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
understood.
any combination of the
Yeah.
colors, including this blue and brown,
Yes.
would look fine.
The blue, the back looks good
Just
too.
make sure the
Yeah.
front and back are the same color, so they know that that's their home.
Sure.
Otherwise, they're not going to know.
Well,
Your mind's gonna be.
yeah. Well, and that's the thing, right? You want it to read, you want it to feel and read like it's your own
It's
your own unit and you are an individual and then our bad.
Any further discussion? All in favor for final approval with conditions, say aye.
Aye.
All right, Good job.
Big building.
Appreciate it.
All right. Thank you very much.
All right, last item on the agenda. We have a submittal from Thomas and Hutton for an early site package approval. They are looking to establish the parking only for the future amenity building. They can speak more to the reason behind that request. Staff has no issue with this request, with the understanding that a final, more robust landscaping plan that includes areas around the parking lot will be required as part of the amenity building submittal. Staff would also recommend that the board discuss the timeline of the amenity center construction in relation to the early site approval.
Great, thank you. My name is Kyle Wicks. I'm here with Trenton Harrington from Seaman Whiteside. We're here on behalf of Dreamfinders Homes, the applicant, tonight, and we are requesting conceptual and preliminary approval of a site plan that will serve the future amenity facilities for the Sweetgrass Station neighborhood. So Sweetgrass Station is off Orangeburg Road. It's about half a mile south of Central Ave intersection. It's being developed under the Knightsville Tract PUD, which some of y'all may be familiar with. The amenity center is located within the phase 2A portion of the site. So to date, phase 1A and 1B have been completed. Homes are going up. That comprises the first 116 residential units. Phase 2A will have the next 124 residential units, and that just recently broke ground. And then phase 2B, which will be the last phase, the last 60 residential units, that's in permitting right now. So the request tonight is strictly site plan. There's no architecture in this submittal. And the idea is that as 2A is broken ground, the site work's ongoing. We'd like to get the parking lot constructed with the rest of the site work for 2A. And so we had submitted a plan revision to the phase 2A plans to the town, gotten reviews from the planning and engineering departments. Both really had no comments on it other than we're not sure we can approve this without, DRB approval or reviewing the site plan. So that's what we submitted here tonight. It's got 47 parking spaces, 43 standard, 4 ADA compliant, van compliant spaces. They're located in areas that will work with the future amenity facilities. The kind of square area in the inside of the parking lot is about 0.44 acres. That's where the planned pool building, cabana, bathrooms and all would go. South of that parking lot would be a mail kiosk, kind of right in front of those ADA spaces, and then a playground as well. And so the PUD has certain requirements for the amenity center. We'd obviously be abiding by that with the future DRB submittal for the amenity facilities. That'd be at a future date. But this is just for the parking to support those facilities. And the reason to split them up and try to get this early is one, so it can all be built, together from a cost standpoint, time standpoint, and just a better finished product. The phase 2A plans showed sidewalk, down the sides of the road. We would be going back in, cutting that out, putting in the curb cuts, trying to install a valley gutter across the drives, and then that the storm line you see kind of cutting across the parking lot, that is to be installed with phase 2A plans as it stands today. So doing all the asphalt work, the road subgrade and all around those boxes as it's going in, it will just kind of be one, more cost effective, more time effective, but then at the end of the day, just a better finished product for everybody, for the town, the client, and the people using it. So with that, we've got some landscaping, 8 laurel oak trees, pink and white muhly grasses, and some knockout rose shrubs. For the parking, the future amenity center will have a much more robust landscape plan to go along with it, which can be, obviously be in addition to this. And with that, I think that's all I've got. Any questions y'all have? Happy to answer them.
So the future amenity center is going to be a building with a pool or something?
Yeah, it'll be a small cabana building, a pool deck, probably very similar to what y'all have seen for Six Oaks or even the Pineland Preserve neighborhood that this neighbor actually connects to. And to add to that, per the PUD, the amenity center is supposed to be open to the public through a membership program. And so we think this provides, ample parking for that as well.
All right. Any questions or concerns?
just one minor one. I think on this, like plan east entrance, that tree, like that's right on top of the storm pipe, is that a canopy tree or an understory tree?
That would be a canopy tree. We'd have to try to get it off that pipe a little bit more for sure. It's kind of right on
Yeah.
top of it right now.
Yeah. That's just what I would, for, future maintenance,
Yeah.
would recommend.
Sure.
All right, that's all I got.
So Becca, they're asking for, can we give them final or they can only have preliminary?
They can have final. I would just say with the condition that, trying to think of the best way to say it. Just something stating that, I guess my staff's only concern was that, which this would never happen with a PUD, I don't think, or you'd have a big lawsuit, but, that when the amenity center does come back through, that they are required to, upgrade the landscaping as needed to meet requirements, because technically currently the landscaping doesn't meet the requirement now. But with the understanding that this is just more for accommodating their process to get the site in, I'm fine with however you guys want to phrase it. Because they are gonna come back.
Well put.
Y'all okay with final?
That'd be great. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
I'll make a motion for final approval with the conditions that has to comply with staff requirements for the PUD. With landscaping and stuff. Can you second this? Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, good job.
All right. Thank you all very much.
Good luck. Becca, you have anything else?
Also, if I could get a motion in a second, we can adjourn.
Is there a motion to adjourn?
Of course, there's a motion to adjourn.
Seconded by Bill, all in
Third.
favor?
Aye.
Hard.